Hey guys, it's Sam, and today I'm going to talk about my Netflix to-be-watched list. So this was actually voted on by my Patreon supporters this month. Every month my Patreon supporters get to vote in a poll on a video topic that I'll do either on this channel or my BookTube channel, and this is what they picked this month. So if you are interested in contributing to my channel in that way and picking some of the content that I do, I will link my Patreon on the screen. So as many of you know, I recently finished graduate school, but during graduate school I had no time to do anything hobby related. I wasn't playing video games, I wasn't really reading, the only thing I could do was read, and that was very little, and I didn't watch any TV. If anything, I only watched some like Great British Bake Off occasionally and RuPaul's Drag Race, and that's it. No TV. So my TV viewing really fell by the wayside, and I do miss it because I feel like I get a lot of my like favorite ships from TV. So I feel like my shipper heart is lacking because I don't have as many things to watch. So this is my list of things that I plan on watching in the coming months and years and stuff, because I'm sure I'm not going to be binge watching all of this. I've been very into reading and my video games lately, so I can't do all three. It's like a Venn diagram thing that happens, and I can only do two at a time. So it's usually like reading and video games are priority, but if one of those switches around, it's like reading and TV. Usually reading is always a priority, so I have to pick either video games or TV. Anyway, so on this list I have shows that I plan on continuing, I have shows that are new to me that I plan on starting, and I have a few movies as well that kind of tie in, so I figured I'd also mention those. So first I'm going to talk about the shows I plan on continuing, the first one being the Vampire Diaries. So many of you know that I have been a big fan of the Vampire Diaries for years. I watched it live mostly up through season 5? Beginning of season 6? Season 5. I don't remember. It's been a while. I had like an active Tumblr blog that was devoted mostly to just the Vampire Diaries. Like, it was bad. But I haven't finished the series, and I want to because I deeply love it. But that involves a rewatch. So yeah, I'm gonna go down that hole, and it's very intense, and I have a lot of strong emotions about it still. So I don't know when I'm gonna get to this exactly because I deeply want to, but I'm also like, can I do all of that again? I don't know. The next show, on kind of a similar vein, although I wasn't as like deep in the fandom with this one, was The 100. I think I watched up through the beginning of the second season, I want to say, and then it just got like very intense, and I just had to take a break. And then grad school happened, and I couldn't handle it. But I really want to get back to the show. One of my favorite ships is Bellark, and I just want stuff with them. So yeah, I'm very excited. I also want to see some Clexa stuff because I never got to Clexa before. People that don't know ship names are going to be like, what are you talking about? But I didn't get to some of that stuff before. There's a lot of really fun characters on that show, and I don't really have any spoilers for it, so besides some of the, like, I know some of the character deaths anyway. But I want to get back to that as well. I also want to finish at least season 1 of Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones I've been watching, I feel like, forever. Last holiday season I started watching it again and I think I watched like 3 more episodes, but I haven't finished the first season. I love it. I want to, but it is so hard to watch just because of the content of it that I feel like it just like, it's too much. Like, I can't watch them back to back really. So I want to finish that, and I want to watch season 2 as well. I don't really have any other connections to any of the other like Marvel Netflix shows. I know a lot of people like them, but like Jessica Jones is the only one I really care about. So I just want to finish and catch up with her because I love her deeply. I also want to continue on with The Magicians. I've seen like the first 2 episodes of The Magicians on live TV, but then just didn't have time. The Magicians is based on the book series The Magicians by Lev Grossman, which was one of my favorite fantasy series. I know that it's very different, and I'm totally prepared for that. I'm very much able, for the most part, to separate like TV shows and movies and stuff from their book counterparts, especially if it's been some time since I read the books, and it's been a couple of years now since I finished the books. So I'm completely prepared to just dive into the show and not completely connected to the books, but the books were so fun that I think that there's going to be a lot of potential for this, and I've heard good things about the show as well. And lastly, for continuing, I just want to continue the BBC Sherlock. I'm not obsessed with Sherlock like a lot of people are, but I liked the show, and I just feel like catching up. I think I watched the first 3 episodes of the show, maybe 4. So hard to keep track because there's such short seasons, but I plan on continuing with that and just catching up to where they are now. And then I have a random assortment of some stuff that is new to me. So as you can probably tell from the stuff I'm continuing, I like CW dramas and like Netflix dramas and like historical stuff as well. So here's what I want to start that I've heard good things about. The first is The Crown, which is a like historical drama about the Queen. And I've heard really good things about this. This sounds like really fun. I really like historical dramas in the winter, so I really want to watch that in the winter. Like that and probably Downton Abbey I want to continue as well, which I don't even know if that's on Netflix. I didn't check. I want to say that it is, but I'm not sure. But that would be in the same kind of vein of this like historical drama. I just feel like it's so cozy and wintry. So I really want to get to that over probably the holidays maybe. I don't know. Then also historical, we have Peaky Blinders. I've wanted to watch this for so long. I love Cillian Murphy, and it's like a crime that I haven't watched this show. But yeah, like gangsters and Cillian Murphy's chiseled cheekbones, like I'm totally on board for that. Also Godless. I don't know if I'll watch this in the winter because Godless seems like more of a like summer show to me. But Godless is a mini series, and it was about it's like a western town that's run and inhabited by all women, which sounds great. And one of the actresses from Downton Abbey, the one who plays Mary, is in it, and she's amazing. So I've heard mixed things about it, but I want to see how I feel about it because it seems good. And it's pretty short because it's a miniseries. Then I went to watch Black Mirror. I've actually watched a single episode of Black Mirror, and that is San Junipero, because I needed to watch that like years ago when it came out. It's so freaking good. But Black Mirror, from my understanding, they're not interconnected at all, so you can just watch them kind of like serial. They're almost like a more modern Twilight Zone. So I want to watch these. I've heard they're like really dark and mostly depressing, but they sound really interesting. So, and it's a show I feel like I could just pick up and dip in and out of and watch an episode here and there like for months. I also want to watch Scandal. So I'm a big fan of Shonda Rhimes, but I've only watched Private Practice and Grey's Anatomy, and I gave up on Grey's Anatomy, although I do feel myself doing a rewatch. Not a full catch up, because I don't care. Like once Christina Yang leaves, I don't care anymore. But I feel as though I need to rewatch it. It's one of those shows that I've rewatched so many times over the years, like 5 or 6 times. It's really fun. So I want to watch more of her shows. And I think I want to start with Scandal instead of How to Get Away with Murder, although I want to watch that too at some point. But yeah, I think I could dip into Scandal. When I want something to binge watch because her fucking shows are so binge worthy, then I'll dip into Scandal. I also want to watch Sense8. A ton of people have recommended this to me for years now, and I've been wanting to watch it. I just haven't had the time. Definitely feel like it's a show I'll be very invested in, and it seems like there's a lot going on, so that is one that's kind of like sci-fi-ish that I'm very intrigued by. And is apparently like very diverse, lots of like queer relationships and queer people in it, so I'm definitely excited for that. And I have a couple of fun shows. I'm not a big fan typically of like comedies or anything like that. Like I don't watch a lot of like sitcoms or anything, but these are some shows that are a little bit lighter. I didn't mention that I will be continuing to watch occasionally like The Great British Bake Off. That's one of my kind of like fun shows, but I don't even count that because half the time I don't even watch it. I just have it on in the background to hear like the soothing voices. Like it's such a good show for anxiety. You just like turn that on. It's like everything's happy here and there's baked goods. But anyway, as far as like comedies or lighter stuff, I want to watch The Good Place. I've heard amazing things, and Kristen Bell's in it, obviously, and it seems like it's really good and really funny, and I think it'd be a fun time. I also plan on watching Dancing Queen, which is a reality TV show about Alyssa Edwards, who's one of the famous RuPaul's Drag Race queens. And I love her, and she has a dance studio, and it's a reality TV show around her dance studio, and I am so very excited about it. Especially because Drag Race is on the off season right now, and we don't know, as of the filming of this video, when the next season is going to be out, even though it's already been taped. So this will hold me over, hopefully, because Alyssa's one of my favorite drag queens of all time. And then I have a few movies. I also added a bunch of movies that I've already seen that I just will like watch if I ever need something like soothing. But these are movies that I haven't yet seen that I plan on watching. So I'm currently catching up on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm not watching all of them. Like I'm not watching any of the Ant-Man movies, but otherwise I'm pretty much watching everything else. So I just finished the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and I need to watch Thor Ragnarok, which is one of them that I'm talking about. And I think I might watch Doctor Strange, although it's not like a huge priority. I think I'll watch Doctor Strange, and then I'll be watching the Avengers movie, which hopefully by the time I get done with those two, because I don't watch movies a ton, hopefully when I get done with those two, then maybe Avengers will be on Netflix. Fingers crossed. Because I haven't been spoiled for anything, so I just want to watch it, but also understand the context of all of the freaking characters that are going to be in that movie. It's too much. It's too overwhelming. I don't know how they're going to do it. I also really want to watch Coco, which is a Disney movie that I think it looks adorable, and I don't really know much about, but I know it's about family and heritage and culture, and I am very excited for that one. I need something, again, like, I need something just soothing and not too stressful, because a lot of the shows and movies I want to watch are very stressful. I'll like watch Coco, because I heard it's really good. I'm also going to watch eventually To All the Boys I Loved Before, which everyone I know has talked about, and most people have watched it like 80 million times by now, but I haven't because I don't tend to like cutesy rom-coms, but if I'm in the mood for a cutesy rom-com, I do plan on watching this at some point. Very behind on the times. And last but not least, I'm going to watch Stardust. I have never watched Stardust, and I've read the book. I read it on audio like when I first joined BookTube. I really like it. I know it's very different than the book, but it's like a lot of people's favorite movies, and a lot of people like it. They compare it to like Princess Bride because it came out at the same time, and yeah, I want to watch it, and I never have, so I'm going to. And those are all the top priority things on my Netflix to be watched list. So comment down below, let me know if any of those things are some of your favorites, if you have any based on what I said, if you have any to recommend. A lot of shows I have already watched, obviously, before school. But if you have any that you think I would really enjoy, definitely let me know. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye.